And then touching into the world of transactional analysis, or TA, on the next slide, there are four elements to it that I want to go through. It's a kind of theory that does talk in simple language, and trying to simplify some complicated items for sure. The four I want to concentrate on here, the main building blocks, are the concept of ego states. We'll have a look at those. Transactions, inevitably being transactional analysis. There's game analysis. There's sort of roles we play. And there's also something called script analysis as well. So those four aspects I'm going to cover now and try and give you a little bit more explanation of those. So here we go. Ego states. Here's the sort of classic model in TA. You have parent, adult, child, and these are ego states. On the left-hand side there, the definition: consistent patterns of feeling and experience relating, directly relating, consistent patterns of feeling and experience directly relating to a corresponding pattern of behavior. So it's behaviors, it's thoughts, and it's feelings. And then the idea here there is that these ego states are just different aspects of our personality. And the TA model puts them into these three categories of parent, adult, and child, and represents them in these sort of circles. So from the top, the parent ego state is just our behaviors, thoughts, and feelings that have been copied from parents or authority figures. And that might be from the past, and it might be from the present as well. Normally, it's caregivers, and it's key authority figures. So maybe teachers, important people in our lives. So it's what we tend to copy. Maybe it's some rules and regulations. It's okay to look both ways as you cross the road. Keeping us safe. So these are useful as well. And from an adult ego state, this is the kind of the here and the now ego state where, again, it's what we do, it's how we think, it's how we feel, directly relating to the here and now, the present. So this is kind of our rational, logical ego state that helps us make decisions in the moment. And then the third one is a child ego state, which are, again, those behaviors, thoughts, and feelings replayed from childhood. So from our time as babies growing up, when we pre-verbal times, we have survived and prospered in the world. There are patterns and feelings that are somewhere inside us that we may not know about, that we can't remember those times when we were very young. And then we're able to communicate and as we grow older, so we can start to remember, interpret, and if you think about earliest memories, when they were, lots has gone on before that. Somewhere inside of us, we have behaviors, thoughts, and feelings, and these are replayed as in our adult lives as well. So three ego states that we need them all. They're all useful, and they can all be sometimes less useful as well. And they can be, thank you, and it can be, you can split the model up as well in different ways. Think from a parental ego state, there are two aspects of that. What's a controlling parent and a nurturing parent? So what aspects of our parental thoughts, feelings, behaviors are we looking to control and direct others, and even ourselves? And then what aspects can be from more nurturing and caring and looking after? And that can be from the experiences we've had of our parents or our caregivers or other authority figures. From a child point of view, this can split into many ways. Here's two examples. Sometimes we might be in adapted child mode. So we are responding in a way that we think is the right thing to do. It could be in response to parental figure or an authority figure or a boss, and that we go with the flow and we salute the flag. Or we could be, where do we get free child? Where are we really having fun and enjoyment? Where can we let ourselves go? Where can we really be our natural selves? So again, different aspects of ego states can come out in different forms, and there are some labels that TA gives them that can help explain and articulate some of our behaviors and reactions. And some of these things can contaminate or get in the way and confuse our adult behavior. So our adult behavior is what we do in the here and now. Where does it come from? What are the motivations behind what I do, how I think, how I feel, how I show myself, and where does that come from? Some of it can come from our parent ego states, some from our child ego states. Okay, that's ego states. We've if we take that model for each of us, we've each got one of these parent, adult, childs hanging above our head somewhere. So when we meet someone else, we meet their parent, adult, and child ego states, which we may see aspects of those, and we can transact. So the notion here is of transactional analysis. So it's a process of how we exchange and communicate with each other. Byrne called it basic unit of social discourse. So this can be, adult to adult. I think I'm going to ask you a question, Hugh.
Okay.
But if I say, what's the time, Hugh?
It's just gone 10:20, Dom.
Hey, we're more or less on track, aren't we?
I think so, yes. Yeah. Well
If you were in parent ego state and I asked you that lovely adult question, what's the time, Hugh? What might you say?
Dom, you're always asking me this. Haven't you got a watch yet? Or just use your phone? I mean, I don't have a watch, but I've always got my phone there. Just look at your phone.
Beautiful, beautiful. So one could argue that could be some kind of controlling parent, kind of critical parent kind of reaction. And child, what might be a childish response?
It would have to be, it's time to get a watch, Dom.
Okay, that sort of thing. So we could spend a long time on transactions, but you can see there are, ones that are in parallel, ones that can be crossing, ulterior game playing we'll come on to shortly. So when we're in some difficult times, then it could be we're not doing the adult to adult stuff with somebody, whoever that might be. It could be we're getting a bit confused, a bit contaminated. We're responding from a child, we're responding from parent, and we might not even know it, frankly. It might be out of our consciousness. It's just the way we are. And some of the process of therapy or coaching is just shining a bit of a light on that and saying, what would you like to do about it? Are you aware of it? And do you want to make some changes? Is it helpful? Okay, so we're going to move on. Third aspect of TA I wanted to cover was game analysis, which is lovely little arena. On the left-hand side there, it is a repetitive series of transactions where both parties end up with some kind of negative outcome. And we often get into these little games, some of which we may not know about. And there's often an ulterior motive in there. So games are often replays of childhood strategies. So, and it's how we got what we wanted from the world. So when you were 3 months old or 9 months old or 18 months old or 5 years old, how do you get love, attention, recognition? How do you make sense of the world from a intuitive feeling point of view? Some of these same aspects, one can argue, still exist in our adult behaviors sometimes. So there are some examples here that TA talks about. There's a great one called a game called Nigisob. Does anyone know what that stands for? I'm going to open out to the floor here.
Now I've got you, you son of a bitch.
Very good. Very good. Who is that?
It's Mayuri. Dom, I know a little bit about TA, so perhaps we could catch up outside.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. So yeah, now I've got you, you son of a bitch. So it's one of those things where you've had a conversation, I thought you were taking the bins out today. Oh, it's my job. Oh, I know I promised I would do it. Oh, okay, now I've got you, son of a bitch. So it's that moment, that aha moment of triumph, of standing on somebody. Why don't you? Which is a great one we often get in the old coaching world, which as we go through our coaching journey, we're trying to give solutions to clients, and I've got the answer. Why don't you try and look for another job? Kick me. If it weren't for you, blemish is a good one. Finding that fault, finding that one fault. Oh, there's a grammatical error in that presentation. I've got it. See what you made me do. There's a whole host of these beautiful little names and acronyms for games that can happen, that we get involved with. There's another one called look Ma No Hands. So the idea is some child is riding a bicycle and not touching the handlebars. It can sum up a whole host of behaviors and also thoughts and feelings. The idea here is that game playing is not ultimately, it's not productive. So again, it's holding that mirror up and helping somebody to see that and see what they might want to do and how they might want to change whatever game they're involved in. Okay, if we move on here, we're at 25 past, we're doing well. Script analysis. So fourth aspect of TA, this is a life plan that we all have made in childhood, reinforced by our parents, justified by subsequent events. So it's basically our playlist, our script, how we've got through, how we've survived thus far, our best strategy for surviving in the world, early reality testing on how I can get recognition, love, attention, as in there. And as grown-ups, I think the bit in the box here I wanted to emphasize, and it's as grown-ups, we sometimes replay our infant strategies, especially if we're under some stress. The here and now is stressful, or there's some kind of resemblance between what's happening now and something in childhood, which is often what we face in the coaching room. Someone comes to us, they've often got a problem or a challenge, or something's gone wrong, and it might have been triggered from something in the past. Some life event, traumatic life event that might have happened, and they might the client might be playing out and behaving in a way that they did in their younger life, and they might not quite know it. I made the same mistake again. I'm in trouble again at work. My relationship is not good. I'm having trouble with the boss. I'm having trouble with the team. I can't do what I want in life. I can't get my work-life balance sorted. I can't get to the gym. All those things. So there may be some connection with this thing called script, where we've come from, because we have survived and we've made it so far. But some of those things might not be as helpful, and they might need some looking at, which is what we can do in the coaching and therapy room. Okay, so I'm going to spend a little bit longer on this one.
Dom, would you mind if I just asked a quick question, hopefully quite a question at this point? Just childhood seems to be getting a bit of a bad rap, right? So we might be doing a learning lab on creativity, and we might be looking back to childhood and remembering ways we were creative as a child. Yeah. So who's making that judgment over whether it's a good or a bad thing that we've brought with us from childhood? Because as you said, like, we've survived thus far, right?
Yeah.
And with that inner child.
Yeah, I suppose I'm dwelling on slightly on the negative here. With often that's what brings one into the coaching room or the therapy room. Something's not quite right. Yeah, and there are beautiful aspects of childhood, obviously the free child aspects and the childhood home and environment and parents and love and care and nurture. It's all in there as well. It's all in the mix for sure. It's all in the mix.
And I'm guessing your client would bring a more negative aspect or more stressful situation from childhood into the room themselves?
It can be all aspects, the whole person. But yeah, good and bad, and that's the balance that is important to maintain. But it could be a particular event or moment, or it could be overall, I've got what I wanted by being this particular personality type, but it's not quite, something's not quite working now in my adult life.
Yeah, not what I need now.
I keep making some of the same mistakes. Or same things keep happening to me. Fate keeps happening.
Got it. Thank you, Dom. Thanks for humoring me on that. Let's progress on to this one.
Oh yeah, I wanted to share. This is me again. Bit of therapy stuff. This is a way of looking at script using the parent, adult, child model. So this is my example, which I did in a part of my course. So we can click away, Hugh, on the animation. Influences of parents. So me in the middle, and you can. Oh, one click too many. There we go. So it could be parent to parent, try hard, hurry up. These are some of the drivers, some of the, they call them sort of injunctions, messages that come through. Be dutiful, don't rock the boat, or don't be a child, don't be important. Some of those subtle messages that come through, some of these are not verbalized at all, but they're a felt sense. I'm the third born, so it often depends where you are on the order of things. I'm the third born. Life was quite busy and complicated in our house, so some of it was don't be a child, don't be important, just be good. And on the other side, from my sort of mum's messages, and this is me in retrospect and hindsight, be perfect, please others. This is how you can get your recognition in the world. Be good. And a little bit of the third, don't grow up. So some of these are subtle and powerful drivers. So as an adult, I'm still working on that. Oh God, I'm still trying to please my father by hurrying up, and I'm nearly 60. What's going on? And still, a little bit scared of authority, about rocking the boat. Still trying to be good and please my mother, and then maybe aspects I can be a little bit mischievous and still, so I don't grow up. I'm still got a bit of child in me. So all these all are beautiful aspects of being a human. If you really get into the detail of it all, you can have a think about what are some of the messages that are still with me, that still are driving some of my behavior, and getting the balance, as Hughes pointed out, in a good way, making me the beautiful person I am, and also challenging some of the things that I know I probably could be more effective at or do better with. So this is some of the aspects you can get into using the ego states model, using transactions, using some of that early script behavior and environment. Okay, we better move on. Quite a nice way of looking at life that TA comes up with is called life positions, where you simply ask the question about okayness. There's a concept of okayness. Am I okay? Am I pretty cool with the world? Am I okay with myself? Or am I not okay with myself and the world? So there's one aspect there, one spectrum. So I'm okay or I'm not okay. And then on the other way, what about the others? The other. So are you okay or you're not okay? And then we have a potential 4-box kind of matrix environment of the combination of those factors. So if I'm not okay, I'm not in a good place, and you're not okay, the world, my boss, my partner, my child, my parent, then that's a pretty dark place to be. I'm not okay and you're not okay. That is not okay. That is a difficult place to be. And we may be in there sometimes momentarily, think, oh, I'm stuck, I'm completely stuck, and the world is unfair and cruel. We can click away, Hugh. Other combination of I'm not okay, but you're okay. You're better than me, you're cleverer than me, you're prettier than me, you're more talented than me, you've got more power than me. So that's also a little difficult box. It could be that I'm okay, but you're not okay. I'm right, you're wrong. I've got more power, I've got more authority, I'm cleverer. And then the box we're trying to get to and make as big as possible, I'm okay, you're okay. So we can agree to disagree, we can challenge, we can be assertive, we can fall out, we can love. I'm okay, you're okay. So one aspect of this is to have a think which box you might be in at different parts of life, or with different aspects of life, or relationships and so on. And then wherever a client might be in the other three not so good boxes, is to try and edge them back to the I'm okay, you're okay box. And try and make them feel, believe, think that they are okay and the other person is okay, and make some informed decisions based on that, rather than the one down position of I'm not okay, or neither of us are any good. So it's decisions we make, and it's a sort of binary thing, which can be useful and informative. So if we take that a step further, we can put that into a model, and which is really the drama triangle. So I'll talk about that first. So here we go. Drama triangle uses the concept of I'm okay, you're okay, and the combination of those things. So on the left-hand side there, this is the unconscious roles people take on and can switch between in stressful emotional conflict situations. Each role is inauthentic, dysfunctional, and not very effective. So whether you agree with that or not, that's my definition of this. None of these roles are any good, but we do play them, and we sometimes do them not consciously. So responsibility is taken away from the players, and we end up in some games. So some of you will definitely know about this already. So let's click away here at the roles. So persecutor is one of them. I'm okay, you're not okay. So I'm persecuting you, I'm in charge, I'm in the right, you're in the wrong. Next one along is rescuer, which you think that's pretty good. I don't mind being a rescuer, but actually underneath the surface of it, it's the same as being a persecutor. I'm okay and you're not okay. That's why I'm rescuing you. That's why I'm helping you out and digging you out of the hole yet again. And the third role is victim. And this one is I'm not okay, but you're okay. So none of these roles are very useful, but they're real. And a lot of what we face in the coaching room and the therapy room are relational issues deep down. Often that is the source of all challenges, are how we react and how we deal with other people. So, and we can sometimes slip into these things. Thank you. Yeah, let's go for it. It's quite small. Why we do it, and its effect on people. So, with persecutor, I guess is kind of easier to understand. It's I'm in charge. People tend to move away from persecutors. From a rescuer point of view, you think, okay, I'm needed. It's great. I can feel good about myself. I can rescue somebody. But again, you're taking power away. In the old coaching world, it's something we face with. We have a temptation to rescue people, but they need to help themselves long term. And sometimes rescuers can get irritated and become persecutors or become victim. I'm sick of sorting that person's problems out. And then victim is a bit more obvious, but it's you can take charge for me. You're better than me, and you can sort it for me. But people again get a bit tired of victims. Sorry, people can get tired of victims as well. So I sometimes cover this with clients as a useful model, and many of them have aha moments. We'll see where they might have been. I've been on this model. I can go on this model as well. I can be a victim. I can be a persecutor. I would suggest we can be all of these things in a moment. It's just useful to know about it, and then decide what we want to do, whether we want to step out of the drama triangle and what some options are.